Welcome back to the channel, EV enthusiasts and micro-mobility riders. Today, we are stepping away from the heavy four-wheeled electric vehicles and massive adventure rigs to talk about something incredibly refreshing in the world of urban commuting. The global search for the absolute perfect electric bicycle is an ongoing journey for many of us. We are constantly looking for that ultimate budget all-rounder, a machine that perfectly balances cost, weight, style, and real-world practicality. Most electric bicycles on the market today suffer from a very obvious problem, which is that they look entirely too much like electric bicycles. They're often burdened with massive, chunky downtubes housing enormous battery packs, overly complicated suspension systems, and heavy electric motors that make them nearly impossible to pedal if you happen to run out of battery juice. But what if there was an electric bicycle that completely disguised its electric nature, offering a pure, unadulterated cycling experience while still giving you that much-needed push up a steep hill? Well, our search has taken us across the pond to England, where a renowned bicycle manufacturer has created something truly special for the global market. The company is called White Bikes, and they have developed an absolute marvel of urban and leisure mobility known as the RHE2. This two-wheeling wonder has been quietly racking up rave reviews, currently holding a stellar 4.5 out of 5-star rating among city commuters and weekend riders alike. Finding the ideal electric bike usually depends heavily on the specific type of riding you intend to do. However, for the vast majority of everyday riders, students, and daily commuters, the ideal machine is one that feels right at home darting through crowded city streets on smooth tarmac, but is also completely capable of breaking away onto some light dirt paths or gravel roads when the weekend arrives. The RHE2 presents itself as exactly that kind of versatile machine. It utilizes a highly robust yet unbelievably sleek hybrid frame set, meticulously crafted from high-quality lightweight aluminum. This carefully designed geometry places the rider in a relaxed, midway position that balances upright comfort with a forward-leaning aerodynamic stance. Because the engineers at White opted to forego a heavy and complicated suspension system, the rider is treated to an incredibly responsive, pure, and connected riding experience that is often lost on overly damped modern e-bikes. To compensate for the lack of a traditional front suspension fork and to ensure the ride remains comfortable over rougher city streets, White has cleverly equipped this bicycle with a fantastic set of tires featuring a wide 45C cross-section. These specific tires do a wonderful job of naturally absorbing vibrations and softening up the terrain, effectively unlocking light trails and gravel paths that your average skinny-tired tarmac e-bike simply could not handle. Even better, this frame is entirely fender compatible, meaning you have the flexibility to install even larger, more aggressive tires to further improve traction and comfort depending on your local environment. This fender compatibility also opens the door for immense practicality, allowing owners to easily mount a rear cargo rack for carrying groceries, a laptop bag, or extra gear. If you prefer a rack straight from the factory, White does offer the slightly more expensive RHE3 model, which comes with one as standard equipment. But we are focusing on the incredible value proposition of the RHE2 today, which is currently selling for 1,800 British pounds. That translates to roughly 2,400 United States dollars or 2,100 euros. And before you worry about international logistics, it's worth noting that White explicitly ships directly to customers in both Europe and the United States, making this British beauty easily accessible to the global market. Now, let us talk about the absolute best trait of the RHE2, and that is its remarkably sleek, almost stealthy appearance. The engineers at White achieved this magical illusion by consciously choosing electronic components that are not the largest or the most demanding on the market. Instead of cramming in the biggest motor possible, they opted for an incredibly compact and discreet rear hub motor. This extremely efficient powertrain pushes out a modest 250 watts of nominal power, with the ability to peak at 450 watts when you really need to get moving off the line. It produces a perfectly adequate 45 newton meters, or roughly 33 pound-feet of torque. While that might sound like a relatively small amount of torque compared to massive electric mountain bikes, you have to look at the big picture. White has expertly paired this electric motor with a highly respected Shimano Q's drivetrain, featuring a 1x9-speed setup. The Shimano Q's system is widely praised for offering fantastic, reliable shifting performance on a budget, and it flawlessly executes gear changes even under a dash of heavy pedal pressure. Because the motor and the drivetrain work so harmoniously together, you might actually find yourself turning the electric assist system completely off at times. This bicycle operates beautifully on the Shimano Q system alone, utilizing the wide 11 to 46-tooth gear range coupled with a 40-tooth front chainring. This means you can tap into the battery as little as possible and actually use the bicycle like a traditional analog bicycle. This brings us to the power source itself. To maintain that incredibly slender down tube, White utilized a nearly invisible battery pack holding just 250 watt-hours of juice. This smaller battery is the primary reason the tubing looks so beautifully sleek, and more importantly, it means minimal weight has been added to the frame. A medium-sized naked RHE2 tips the scales at an astonishingly low 15.5 kilograms, which is just 34.2 pounds. That ridiculously low weight makes this electric bicycle an absolute dream to carry up a flight of stairs to your apartment or navigate through tight urban environments where lifting the bike is required. Despite the smaller battery capacity, the efficiency of the overall system is highly impressive. According to the manufacturer, a full charge will give you a peak range of roughly 60 kilometers, or about 37 miles of pedal-assisted riding. Another massive benefit of having a smaller battery pack is the exceptionally fast recharge time. When the battery is finally depleted, it only takes 3.5 hours plugged into a standard wall outlet to get back to a completely full charge, meaning you can easily top it off while sitting at your desk during a standard workday. Beyond the impressive electronics, the rest of the RHE2 is outfitted with some genuinely solid gear that guarantees a safe and enjoyable ride. The braking system utilizes a reliable set of hydraulic calipers biting down on a pair of 160mm rotors, which is an absolute necessity for safely stopping any electric bicycle. The bike rolls on high-quality Maxxis Reaver Tanwall tires wrapped around durable WTB rims. Finally, White tosses in some beautifully integrated lighting. Ultimately, it's intentionally minimal, beautifully sleek, incredibly light, and it provides an authentic cycling experience without ever coming across looking like a clunky electric bike. Let us know down in the comments if you think the $2,400 price tag is worth it for this lightweight commuter. And as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more daily mobility news.